Let go of your mistakes. The most important thing to worry about is, am I doing the things I am good at? Max Levchin. We easily remember a single stumble, but forget the hundreds of steps forward we have made. Just one wrong decision can make us blame ourselves for days, months, or even years. We constantly return to the past to analyze what we should have done differently, like someone standing in front of a broken mirror, trying to piece together the tiny fragments, while beside them, a wide door to the future remains open. Mistakes are an inevitable part of growing up, but after drawing the necessary lessons, continuing to carry it as a burden on our shoulders only slows our pace. A boat cannot sail far if it keeps dragging the anchor of things that have already happened. The question truly worth reflecting on is not, why did I fail? But rather, am I dedicating my time and energy to things that help me realize my greatest value? Each person possesses unique abilities, strengths, talents, and qualities that can make a difference. When people spend most of their time trying to fix all their weaknesses, they may become decent at many things. But when they focus on nurturing their strengths, they have the opportunity to become outstanding in a specific field. Imagine an eagle spending its entire life feeling sad because it cannot swim as fast as a fish. It would forget that its wings were born to conquer the clouds. In the same way, many people lose their confidence because they constantly compare themselves to the standards of others instead of discovering and developing the unique abilities that only they possess. Successful people are usually not those who have never made mistakes. They are the ones who understand that failure is merely feedback, not a life sentence. A scientist may conduct hundreds of unsuccessful experiments before finding the correct answer. An athlete may lose hundreds of matches before stepping onto the victory podium. Each failure does not diminish their value. It merely points out an unsuitable path and brings them closer to the right one. Psychology shows that where you direct your attention determines the direction of your life. If your mind is always focused on your shortcomings, you will live with a sense of lack and self-doubt. But when you focus on developable abilities, you begin to see opportunities, find motivation, and unleash the potential hidden by fear. However, focusing on your strengths does not mean ignoring all your weaknesses. A wise person knows how to fix the weaknesses that hold them back, but they do not spend their whole lives fighting against the things they are not good at. They are like a gardener who understands that not every plot of land is suitable for growing every kind of plant. Instead of forcing a seed to bloom in barren soil, they find the most fertile ground to nurture its brilliant growth. Forgive the imperfect versions of yourself. Yesterday's mistakes are merely footprints on the path you have traveled, not chains holding you back. Spend more time asking yourself, what makes me useful? What allows me to create value? What can I do better each day? A meaningful life is not built by never making mistakes, but by learning from them and continuing to use your best abilities to create something good for the world. There are no regrets in life, just lessons. Jennifer Aniston. People often have a habit of looking back at the past through the eyes of regret. We regret a missed opportunity, a word that hurt someone, or a wrong decision that made the path more difficult. In the quiet of the night, memories are like an old movie playing on repeat, making us wonder, what if I had chosen differently back then? But the truth is, life has no rewind button. Time does not stop for anyone to rewrite the pages already written. The only thing we can do is read those pages, understand their meaning, and continue writing new chapters with greater maturity. This does not tell us to forget our mistakes, nor does it ask us to view pain as something easy to overcome. It reminds us that every experience, whether sweet or bitter, is a silent teacher in our lives. A single failure teaches us humility. A single betrayal teaches us to see people more deeply. Losing something precious helps us understand the value of what we have. Regret is like standing in front of a closed door and spending a lifetime knocking on it, hoping it will reopen. Meanwhile, a lesson is like turning around to look at our surroundings and realizing there are still many other doors waiting for us to enter. Those who remain drowned in regret will be chained to the past, while those who learn from the past will turn their scars into a map, guiding them toward the future. A strong tree is not made only of sunny days. It grows through storms and fierce winds that drive its roots deeper into the earth. The same is true for humans. It is the falls, the lonely times, and the tears that seem weak that silently build our inner strength. Difficulties do not come to destroy our lives, but to refine our souls. Much like fire heats metal to forge strong steel, many successful people are not those who have never made mistakes. They are the ones who stand up after each mistake and ask themselves, "What did I learn from this?" That question turns pain into wisdom, failure into experience, and paths once gone wrong into a foundation for steadier steps in the future. Stop spending too much time blaming the past version of yourself. The person you were yesterday made choices based on the understanding and circumstances they had at that time. Be grateful for both the right decisions and the mistakes, for they all contributed to shaping who you are today. A diamond cannot shine without enduring millions of years of pressure deep within the earth. Life is not a journey in search of perfection, but a continuous process of learning and growing. Every wound has a story, every failure hides a lesson, and each new day is an opportunity to start anew with more wisdom than yesterday. When you learn to look at the past not as a prison of regret, but as a school of experience, you will find peace of mind. For in the end, what matters is not how many times you fell, but what kind of person you became after each fall. Do not fear growing slowly, only fear standing still. Chinese proverb. In life, many people often worry when they see themselves making progress too slowly. They look at others and see brilliant successes, outstanding strides, and admirable milestones. From there, they begin to doubt themselves, wondering if they are falling behind. But the most terrifying thing in life is not going slowly. It is giving up on the journey, accepting standing still, and letting time pass without any change. Growth does not always happen in giant leaps. Sometimes, it is just a small change that is hard to notice with the naked eye. Like a seed sown in the ground, for a long time, no signs are visible on the surface. But deep beneath that dark soil, the seed is silently cracking its shell, taking root and preparing for the day it rises to become a strong tree. Every book you read, every skill you persistently practice, every time you overcome laziness to start a new task, are small bricks building a better version of yourself. Some results do not appear after a day, a month, or even a year. They are like a small stream of water persistently flowing through rocky crevices. On the first day, the rock seems completely unchanged. But after thousands of days, that very patience can carve deep grooves, proving the immense power of small actions repeated endlessly. What causes many people to fail is not a lack of ability, but their impatience for results. We live in a world that loves overnight success stories, but few see the long years behind that spotlight. A high-rise building is not constructed with a single lift, but is built from thousands of bricks placed in the right position day by day. A talented artist is not born perfect. They have gone through countless hours of practice, countless mistakes, and countless moments of wanting to give up. Conversely, standing still is a silently dangerous kind of failure. It does not make a loud noise like a fall, nor does it cause immediate pain like a serious mistake. It comes in the form of procrastination, excessive comfort, and promises of, "Tomorrow I will start." As the days pass, people keep the same old habits, the same old thoughts, and the same old fears, while opportunity and time quietly slip away. Remember, speed does not determine the value of the journey. A turtle moving slowly can still reach its destination if it keeps stepping forward, while a powerful horse will never arrive if it just stands still in its stable. What matters is not how far you have gone today, but whether you are still moving forward. Do not blame yourself for growing slowly. Do not compare the first chapter of your story with someone else's final chapter. Every person has their own starting point, circumstances, and pace of growth. As long as you are a little wiser today than yesterday, a little stronger today than yesterday, and take even a tiny step forward, you have already triumphed over your former self. Life does not reward the fastest runner in every race, but often smiles upon those who are persistent enough to keep walking. For in the end, small but steady steps will lead you to places that impatience and quitting can never reach. Don't worry about failure. You only have to be right once. Drew Houston. After just a single fall, many people quickly conclude that the path ahead is not for them. They let the fear of failure become an invisible wall, imprisoning their dreams, bold ideas, and undiscovered potential. But the truth is, on the road to success, failure is not the enemy. It is merely a strict teacher showing us how to get closer to what is right. Life does not require us to win every battle. No one needs to be right in every decision, succeed in every plan, or achieve perfect results on every attempt. What matters is rising after each failure, adjusting our direction, and keeping the flame of belief inside us from going out. Sometimes, just one right idea, one right decision, or one right opportunity at the right time can change an entire life. A sculptor is shaping a statue from a rough block of stone. Onlookers might only see thousands of meaningless chisel strokes, constantly falling stone chips, and a long, exhausting process. But the artisan understands that every single stroke has a purpose. Perhaps the first 99 strokes do not crack the stone, but the 100th stroke creates the breakthrough. That does not mean the previous 99 attempts were in vain. It was the accumulation of all those small impacts over time that prepared for that breakthrough moment. In psychology, the fear of failure often stems from people linking their self-worth to the outcome of a single attempt. When they fail, they do not think this method didn't work yet, but instead conclude, "I am a failure." This is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Those with a growth mindset understand that failure is just data information to help them adjust their strategy. A climber does not turn back just because they encounter a steep path. They find a way to redirect, rest, prepare better, and continue their journey to the summit. The history of great achievements is also written with countless trials and errors. Behind every world-changing invention are months of lonely research, discarded blueprints, times of being doubted, and moments when it seemed impossible to go on. But persistent people understand that with just one successful discovery, one proven idea, or one correct answer, all prior failures become stepping stones to victory. However, the key is not stubbornly repeating the same mistake while hoping for a miracle. Success comes to those who learn after each failure. Like a captain on the high seas, they cannot control the direction of the wind, but they can adjust the sails. Each storm does not make them abandon the ocean, but helps them better understand how to navigate the rough waves. Before becoming a giant tree, a seed must spend long days in the darkness of the earth. No one sees its silent struggle as it breaks through the hard shell to sprout above ground. But it is that very process that creates resilient vitality. People are the same. Periods of failure and difficulty can be preparation for a greater transformation. Do not let the number of times you fall decide whether you continue walking. A closed door does not mean the entire building has no exit. A failed plan does not mean a failed life. As long as you keep learning, trying, and having the courage to try once more, the chance to find the right path always exists. Life does not count how many times you have failed. It only remembers the moment you find the suitable path and turn the experiences accumulated from hundreds of mistakes into the foundation for a single success. And sometimes, that single success is enough to rewrite your entire life story. Each person must look to themselves to understand the meaning of life. It is not something discovered, but something molded. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Since the dawn of self-awareness, humans have constantly asked one of the deepest questions: what am I living for? We search for answers in books, in the advice of our elders, in societal success, or even in the admiration of others. Many spend their entire lives traveling everywhere in search of a perfect purpose, like an explorer trying to find a long-buried treasure. But perhaps the greatest thing we need to realize is that the meaning of life does not lie somewhere waiting to be discovered. It lies in our own hands, thoughts, and choices we make every day. Finding oneself is not a trip on a map, but a journey deep into our inner world. It is when we dare to sit with our most honest thoughts, facing our fears, desires, strengths, weaknesses, and the aspirations sleeping in our souls. So many people live their whole lives according to patterns set by society. They pursue a job simply because it is viewed as successful, choose a lifestyle just because everyone around them does, or chase the metrics of others while forgetting to ask themselves, is this the life I truly want? It is like an artist holding a piece of precious clay in their hands, but letting others decide the shape of the artwork. In the end, they may possess a statue beautiful in the eyes of others, but it is a piece that bears no imprint of their own soul. Each person's life is like a soft piece of clay when placed in their hands. No one is born with a complete blueprint of destiny. Joyful and sad experiences, failures, successes, right and wrong decisions, and redirections are the invisible hands that shape the masterpiece of our lives. A few cracks on the surface are not signs of damage, but sometimes unique lines that create a distinct beauty that cannot be copied. People only truly feel happiness and peace when their lives align with their deep inner values. A tree cannot grow strong if it is forced to plant in unsuitable soil. Similarly, a person will gradually wither if they live too long in a role that does not belong to them. Self-discovery is not about finding a fixed answer, but understanding that we always have the right to change, learn, and create a new version of ourselves. Some young people feel lost because they do not know where their true passion lies. They think everyone else has a clear map, while they are the only ones wandering lost. But the truth is, very few people enter life with a complete answer. Meaning does not appear in a magical moment like a flash of lightning in the night sky. It is shaped by the most ordinary days, when you help someone, when you persistently pursue a skill, when you overcome a fear, or when you dare to choose the path your heart believes in. A potter sits before the spinning wheel. Every spin, every touch, and every small adjustment helps turn a lifeless lump of clay into a uniquely beautiful vase. If the potter only sits and waits for the clay to transform itself into artwork, they will never obtain what they desire. Life is the same. We cannot just wait for meaning to appear. We must participate in creating it through action, courage, and sincerity. Live, experience, make mistakes, learn, and never stop improving yourself. Every choice you make today is like a chisel mark on the statue of your life. Over time, those marks will come together to form a masterpiece, bearing an imprint that no one can duplicate. Life is not a ready-made treasure for a lucky person to find. It is a work of art being created day by day by your own thoughts, actions, and the love you pour into the world. And the only artist with the right to decide the final shape of that artwork is you. The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. Nelson Henderson. Humans often tend to measure the value of their actions by what they get in return. We work to earn results, strive to gain recognition, and give with the hope of receiving something equivalent in return. That is a natural part of human psychology. However, the deepest and most beautiful meanings of life often emerge from actions done not for personal gain, but out of a desire to leave something good for those who come after. A person planting a tree today understands that it may take decades for it to grow, branch out, and create cool shade. Perhaps the sower will no longer be there to enjoy the results, but they still patiently care for it because they know that one day someone will rest under its canopy. Life is also like a vast garden. Every word of encouragement, every piece of knowledge we share, every sincere help, and every good deed we do are seeds sown in the soil of time. Some seeds sprout very quickly, while others need many years to grow. We may never see all the impacts our small actions create, but that does not mean they are without value. A dedicated teacher spends their whole life imparting knowledge to students. Perhaps they will never witness all the achievements that generations of their students attain. A father or mother sacrifices their youth and strength to raise their children, not expecting a perfect return, but because love makes them want the next generation to have a better life. Scientists diligently researching, community builders, and those silently doing charity are also planting trees for a future they may never directly enjoy. We only truly feel the depth of happiness when we transcend the limits of the ego. Pleasures based on material goods, fame, or praise are often like fires that burn brightly but quickly die down. Conversely, the feeling of knowing that your existence has made someone else's life better is like a silent stream flowing forever in your soul and bringing lasting peace. Interestingly, those who sow seeds without expecting to sit in the shade of the tree are often the richest in spirit. They understand that life is not just a trip to gather fruits for oneself, but an opportunity to make a small contribution to the endless flow of humanity. A stone thrown into a lake creates ripples that spread wide, and sometimes the ripple effects of a kind act continue to spread far beyond what we can see. Living for others does not mean forgetting yourself. A gardener who wants to care for healthy trees must first keep their own hands strong enough to plant. Therefore, developing oneself, maintaining health, and nurturing knowledge and the soul are ways to prepare ourselves to give more value to life. Imagine what this world would be like If everyone only thought about enjoying the shade of existing trees and no one bothered to sow new seeds, there would be no inventions that change humanity, no cultures preserved, and no families built on the love and sacrifice of previous generations. Every good thing we enjoy today is the result of the tree planters who lived before us. The true meaning of life does not lie in how much we own, how much praise we receive, or how much success we enjoy. Real value lies in the seeds we leave in the souls of others, the good things we build, and the paths we open for the future. At the end of the journey, what makes a life memorable is not the shade we sat under, but the number of forests we silently planted for those who will walk after us. What you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world. Eckhart Tolle. Many people live their entire lives feeling that the world has been unfair to them. They think life has taken away opportunities that should have been theirs, that no one recognizes their talent, no one understands the deep thoughts in their soul, and no one sees the value they can bring. They stand in the crowd, feeling like a precious gem, buried under deep soil, complaining that no one finds their beauty. But there is a challenging truth. Perhaps the world is not hiding the treasure from you, but you are hiding that treasure from the world. Sometimes, we crave recognition, but fear being judged. We desire to be loved, but build walls so no one can enter our inner world. We want opportunities for success, but hesitate to try out of fear of failure, like someone standing in front of a locked door, constantly complaining that no one invites them in, while the key is sitting right inside their own pocket. Fear is an invisible guard in the mind. It whispers that you are not good enough, perfect enough, or smart enough to step into the light. Therefore, many choose to keep great ideas in a notebook never opened, keep loving words in a heart never spoken, and keep dreams in an imagination never turned into action. They wait for a day when they become perfect before starting. But the irony is that perfection usually only appears after we have dared to begin and gone through countless imperfections. A seed lies deep in the soil, complaining that the world does not let it see the sky. But to reach the light, the seed must break open the hard shell surrounding it. That process is not easy. It requires change, pain, and courage to step into a completely new environment. Humans are the same. Growth begins the moment we dare to break through the shell of fear, doubt, and the limitations we create ourselves. What humans often lack is not ability, but the permission they give themselves to show that ability. We wait for others to give us an opportunity, recognition, or a guarantee that we will succeed. But so many doors in life only appear after we actively take steps. An artist is only known when they dare to display their work. A writer only gets readers when they dare to publish their first words. An influential voice is only heard when they dare to speak up. However, revealing yourself does not mean exposing everything or seeking attention from everyone. It is about being honest with your own talent, emotions, values, and aspirations. A candle does not need to scream to prove it shines. It just needs to be lit. And when that light appears, those looking for light will naturally see it. Many regrets in life do not come from the times we failed, but from untried potential, songs never sung, paintings never painted, and dreams never given a chance to exist. A ship is built to set sail, but if it stays in the harbor forever, out of fear of storms, it will never know how vast the ocean is. Instead of constantly asking, "Why doesn't the world give me a chance?" try asking a more powerful question. What am I holding back that the world needs to see. Perhaps it is a creative idea, a unique talent, an inspiring story, a simple kindness, or the courage that someone else needs. The world cannot discover what you never dare to show. Fields cannot bloom if seeds remain in a safe box forever. Life becomes meaningful not when we wait for the world to bring us everything, but when we bravely open the inner door and offer our unique gifts to the world. Then you will realize that what you have always been searching for on the outside may have always existed within you. In order to write about life, first you must live it. Ernest Hemingway. There is a seemingly simple truth that many forget. You cannot write about a river without standing on its bank. You cannot speak of fire without feeling its heat. And you cannot understand life if you only observe from the outside without ever stepping into its current. Knowledge can come from books, but the depth of understanding about people and life is shaped only through lived experience. Life is not an abstract concept that can be fully grasped through theory. It is a synthesis of emotions, failures, joys, losses, hopes, and very real moments that only those who experience them can fully feel. So many people want to understand happiness without ever experiencing sadness, or speak of growth without ever going through falls. It is like trying to describe the smell of rain without ever standing under a single shower. We can use words to mimic it, but it will lack the genuine resonance that only experience can bring. Life, therefore, cannot just be understood by reason. It must be lived with all your heart, your body, and your own scars. We do not truly learn deeply from what we merely observe, but from what we directly participate in. One can read hundreds of books on swimming, but without ever entering the water, they will never understand the true feeling of regulating their breath in deep water. Similarly, one can hear thousands of stories about love, failure, or loss, but only by stepping into those moments themselves can they truly understand their meaning. Life cannot be replaced by passive observation. It requires active engagement. Every time we step out of our comfort zone, dare to try something we have never done, accept risks, and face unknown outcomes, we accumulate material for our own life story. Without experience, words become hollow. But when the experience is deep enough, even the simplest words carry the weight of truth. A writer writes not just with imagination, but with memory, wounds, joy, and the times their heart was tested. The most vivid pages often come not from theoretical perfection, but from people who have walked through darkness, stood between difficult choices, and wondered if they had the strength to go on. Those experiences create a depth that no classroom can ever replace. A person standing before the sea, but only looking at it through a window. They can describe the blue, speak of the vastness, but they will never feel the salty smell of the wind, the cold bite of the waves, or the roaring sound of the ocean hitting the sandy shore. Life is the same. If we only observe from the outside, we will only have concepts, but no true empathy. Living life does not mean experiencing grand or dramatic things. Sometimes, it is simply about paying more attention to the ordinary. A quiet morning, a sincere conversation, a small failure that teaches us something new. Life lies not only in major events, but also in very small moments we often unintentionally overlook. Before trying to interpret or write about life, step into it more fully. Allow yourself to make mistakes, to learn, to feel, and to change. For only when our feet truly touch the ground, our eyes truly see, and our hearts truly vibrate, can we write things that are correct not only in words, but also in experience. Ultimately, life is not a subject to study from afar, but a journey that must be traveled. And only after traveling, it can each person become the most truthful storyteller of their own journey. Our humanity is worth a little discomfort, even a lot of discomfort. Ijeoma Oluo. Humans have a natural instinct, seeking comfort and avoiding pain. We want shorter paths, less risky decisions, and gentler emotions. In the short term, that helps us survive, but in the depths of spiritual life, true human growth often blossoms from places that are not comfortable at all. It is in places of tension, conflict, disappointment, and insecurity that our humanity is tested, refined, and expanded. The value of being human lies not in avoiding all pain, but in the ability to walk through it consciously. Discomfort, in essence, is not the enemy. It is like a signal showing that we are reaching the boundary of growth. Every time we feel uncomfortable, it is very likely that we are being pulled out of our familiar comfort zone to step into a wider space within ourselves. If a seed always avoids the pressure of the soil, it will never sprout. If metal does not endure high temperatures, it cannot become a sharp blade or a solid structure. The same is true for humans. The deepest qualities, such as patience, empathy, courage, and self-control, are not born in perfect conditions, but are shaped during periods when we must face prolonged discomfort. Personal growth is often accompanied by inner friction. It is when old beliefs are challenged, old habits are broken, and we are forced to learn to adapt to the new. Discomfort arises not because we are going in the wrong direction, but sometimes because we are changing. And change, no matter how positive, always brings a certain level of insecurity. Many people seek to optimize their lives to completely eliminate discomfort. They avoid conflict, postpone difficult conversations, or decline challenges that make them feel uncertain. But the paradox is, the more we try to avoid discomfort, the easier it is to get trapped in a life that is safe but poor in experience. Just like a land that never has strong winds will never produce deep-rooted trees. Absolute comfort is sometimes not happiness, but stagnation, cloaked in a peaceful appearance. On the contrary, those who are spiritually mature are often those who have learned to live with discomfort intentionally. They accept the discomfort of learning a new skill, facing the truth about themselves, walking away from relationships that are no longer suitable, or pursuing a long-term goal that has not yielded immediate results. They understand that each phase of discomfort is an investment in a deeper version of themselves. A person is training their body. Every workout brings feelings of fatigue or even soreness, but it is precisely during that endurance that muscles are built and stamina is formed. If a person always stops as soon as they feel uncomfortable, they will never push past their current limits. The mind and character operate on the same principle. Growth only occurs when we dare to stay long enough in the uncomfortable zone. The key is not to blindly seek pain, but to recognize the value of timely discomfort. Not all discomfort is worth enduring, but the discomfort associated with growth, truth, and positive change often yields long-term rewards far outweighing temporary ease. Our humanity understanding, compassion, courage, and inner depth is truly worth accepting a certain level of discomfort. For if we always choose the easiest path, we may maintain comfort, but we will lose the chance to become a greater person than we were yesterday. Growth is not about completely eliminating discomfort, but learning to walk with it and turning it into part of the journey to becoming a more whole person. When we do the best we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life or in the life of another. Helen Keller. We often judge our actions by the immediate results we see. If success appears, we call it a worthy effort. If failure occurs, we easily conclude that we are not good enough. But life does not operate in such simple straight lines. There are actions that seem small and insignificant, yet create far-reaching ripples that we cannot see with the naked eye. And sometimes, it is precisely when we do our best that the most wonderful things begin to form in silence. Effort is not just a tool to achieve results, but also the seed of unpredictable possibilities. Every time we pour our entire mind into something, whether big or small, we are sowing a future possibility not only for ourselves, but also for those around us. When a person lives to the fullest, they change not only the outcome of their work, but also how others feel, think, and act. A sincere effort can inspire others to keep trying. A small act of kindness can change the mood of someone in despair. An imperfect but genuine effort can become the starting point for a chain of positive changes that no one predicted. Life, therefore, is like a quiet lake. When we throw a stone, be it a dedicated action, a brave decision, or an effort to push past our limits, the water immediately ripples. Those ripples do not stop where we can see them. They continue to spread farther, touching shores we may never know of, and sometimes a seemingly tiny act can create a greater impact than we ever imagined. We often miss the miracle not because it does not exist, but because we give up on our efforts too soon. They stop before waiting long enough to see the result, like a well digger giving up just a thin layer of soil away from the water vein. Meanwhile, those who persistently do their best may not always see results immediately, but they always place themselves in a position where miracles can happen. The special thing about doing our best lies not only in the final result, but in the internal change. When we truly dedicate all our energy to something, we begin to understand our limits, while realizing that those limits are not fixed. We learn to be more patient, stronger, and even kinder to ourselves. That is also a kind of miracle, a silent transformation that no one on the outside can see. And most importantly, one's effort never belongs to them alone. We may not know that our effort today becomes a source of motivation for someone in despair somewhere. Perhaps a word, an action, or a product we create with all our heart becomes light for someone who is lost. These things do not appear instantly, but they exist as invisible undercurrents in life. When we do our best, we do not need to control every outcome. We only need to keep sowing actions that are as sincere and complete as possible. The rest belongs to time, circumstances, and the connections we cannot see. Life always has a way of answering those efforts in the most unexpected ways. A miracle is not something that comes from the outside, but the combination of complete effort and unpredictable opportunities. And when we dare to live fully in every moment, we open the door for miracles, whether small or large, to appear in our lives and in the lives of others.